killer of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson, screaming like a lunatic to reporters gathered and literally had to be dragged into his extradition hearing in Pennsylvania. Take a look.
That's completely out of touch. And it's an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
Luigi Mangione was denied bail and is fighting extradition as the NYPD works to get him back to New York and face charges of second-degree murder for the cold-blooded slaying of Brian Thompson on the streets of Midtown Manhattan. Okay, it's very interesting. Right now, New York is attempting to extradite him, which is a very simple process, Joey, where they basically say, we have criminal charges of murder too, and the DA goes to the governor signs it, and then they take it to the governor in Pennsylvania, and they say, this is the guy, and these are the charges. It's very simple, and they're not agreeing to do it. They want to fight. But he'll be extradited and brought back to New York. Do you think he should be charged by Alvin Bragg, the progressive Manhattan DA, or should this be brought to the feds to prosecute under President Donald Trump?
You know, that's a really good point. I haven't thought about that till you just asked the question. Thank you for putting me on the spot with my not law degree. I would love to see the federal government prosecute this because I think it needs to be a case that sets a precedent. I mean, the fact is, even I see in my life, the vulnerability of people that are in the public eye is huge in this country. I mean, our own president was almost shot. It's one of the unique things about this country. It's one of the amazing things about this country. You can go to L.A. and see a celebrity in a coffee shop, or you can go to New York and find the CEO of a company coming out of his hotel. None of us are secure. So I think people like this need to be made an example of, and for that reason, I would love to see it go to the federal level. Two things can be true at one time. This guy can be unhinged, deranged, and completely crazy, and also a cold-blooded killer, and he should be treated as one.
You know, it's interesting, Dana. On the one hand, they said last night he was very quiet, but then once he saw the press, he started screaming about how unjust it was and you know, like he's got some kind of a message.
So I don't know what his mental health status is, and that will have to be something that's a part of this. I also agree it should be charged federally because we've seen what happens here. And I think that it's disgusting how some people say, oh, this is because of the insurance industry. You check yourself on that, especially if you're on the left. And how do you think we ended up in a place where there is less competition and fewer good products in the insurance industry? It is messed up, I agree. But that's not because people weren't suggesting a better way. If you think socialized medicine is a better way, knock yourself out. Go to Canada and try to find a specialist.
Go to the VA.
Go to Scotland. Go to England. It is a disaster. And you can end up with, let's say, an elderly woman like my late stepmother-in-law has a UTI, can't get attention. 18 weeks go by. And this woman couldn't get care. And you think that that's better? And I can understand how frustrated people get on all sides of the thing. But when you say that healthcare is a right, as Bernie Sanders did today, he said he disagreed with the violence, but he said, but he's showing us what people have come to know, that healthcare is a right. Okay, if you believe that, how are you paying for it? Let's just have the discussion. Let's have the debate. You just have the slogan, and then you don't do anything about it. And then you sit there behind people like Taylor Lorenz, who is somebody who should never be interviewed again. She seeks the attention. She's got a problem. It is not right. So it's despicable what happened. And you had people on CNN comparing Daniel Penny to this guy. That's disgusting to me.
Yeah. They obviously don't know what they're talking about. Jesse, you know, Macho Man over here was yelling yesterday when they picked him up at McDonald's in Altoona. He started shaking. And this morning, it looks like he peed in his pants after being arrested. Is he a tough guy or what?
No, I saw the wet spot in the groin, and I immediately thought he soiled himself. We'll have a follow-up on that tonight at 8 o'clock.
Where's the picture?
Yeah, look, it looks like he wet himself.
No, he's in blue. Put that one up.
Not that picture. That picture. If you zoom in, you can see wet himself. Now, maybe he spilled a Diet Coke from Mickey D's. I don't know. Yeah. But that is not a good look. I spoke to some sources in the psychiatric community who says why people like this are praising this guy. One, the bad boy factor. Women are coming out of the woodwork saying this guy, oh, I want to be your Bonnie and Clyde. You know, you look for damaged guys. That's kind of a sick fantasy that women have.
Some.
I heard you giggle. Some women. They also say that there's an empathy that's misfiring. Like when Dana said that Daniel Penny is the bad guy and Luigi's the good guy, that's also a problem. There's also this underdog situation where people root for high-status individuals to be taken down, humiliated. Like, remember people used to laugh at Trump when he was on trial or when the King of England got the pie in the face. People like to see that, but there's a sicker faction of that group that wants people hurt. They want people dead. And that's probably because they've been so desensitized and isolated with social media. They've just gone totally wacko. Now, I had emergency back surgery, and I was lucky enough to get into the operating room within 48 hours. And the recovery was not easy. But because I was so mentally tough, I'm hearing giggles again.
And humble.
I pushed all of my feelings down below. And then I stuck to these habits. I redefined my entire life because it can dominate you mentally. Yes. If you have pain in your life, it can totally destroy you. And I think maybe what happened, this guy was going through something like that and might have taken a hallucinogenic drug and completely lost his mind, and he became homicidal.
Okay. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Jessica, he lost touch with his family, who gave him a very privileged life, went to UPenn. He clearly was not someone who came up in a difficult upbringing. And what do you think's going on?
Valedictorian from Gilman, which is a very fancy school, did very well at Penn. When you listen to the testimonials from people who knew him, this is a big shock to all of them, but his mother reported him missing on November 18th. And he had a few years ago, I think it was a surfing accident, had back surgery that obviously didn't work. His x-ray, I think, was found on his social media, and you can see the screws going in, and he never recovered. And pain can radicalize you. But this man, a murderer is no folk hero, and I haven't understood. I understand memes are really fun, and people are really bored, and he has incredible abs. But it's gross, and what it does to the family, Brian Thompson's family, this man who's a father of 2 kids, that people are out here talking about how they never would have snitched on him if he had gone to Burger King, or what the girls from Sex and the City would have said about him. It diminishes a life that was taken, and also it diminishes the debate about the healthcare system, which we should all be willing to have. But obviously, you don't take action in this type of way. And I think it's really sad if he is as schizophrenic as some are speculating. Also very sad. I hope he gets the treatment and the sentence that he deserves.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He's going to realize what serious trouble he's in. I think there was a part of him that was playing games with, if that was his monopoly money, if destroy, deny, defend on the ammunition.
Also, the FBI better give that person their reward. I saw something that they might not get the full, they're offering $50,000 for it. And it's a big tip.
Okay.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.